Hello and welcome back to English for You. I'm Seb.
I'm Nikki.
And we are still talking about Pay It Forward, that amazing book which created a phrase and it created a new way of thinking. How we can help people by, helping strangers and then...
Strangers help more strangers.
Exactly. So, a system for making the world better. So, in the book, Trevor's system, Trevor very sadly passes away, but his system actually changes the world. It makes the world into a place where everybody's just happy and helping each other. So, do we think that his system would work in the real world if we tried to pay it forward?
I think it would. Like helping people is not like really difficult. It's something that you have to just keep in mind and then you keep doing it.
Right. Yeah, because it's small acts of kindness.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not talking about
saving people's lives.
Yeah. We're just, checking if somebody feels upset or just being aware of people. So, yeah, I think it could work if everybody puts their mind to it. If everybody focuses on it, then it really could change the world. Okay, so let's find out more about the ideas and then we can think about maybe how we can pay it forward into our own lives.
Reading. Pay it forward. Over 20 years have passed since Catherine Ryan Hyde wrote Pay It Forward. It is still one of the most widely loved young adult books in the U.S. This is because of two inspiring ideas within the story. The first of these is that acts of kindness can completely change someone's life. Early in the book, Trevor buys food for Jerry, the homeless man. Though Jerry is arrested later on, Trevor's act of kindness has caused a big change in Jerry's personality. We see this later when he saves a woman from killing herself after he gets out of prison. The second message is that anyone can achieve greatness, not just the rich and powerful. Trevor comes from a difficult background. Yet through his determination, he is able to change large parts of society. The book's opening pages include an important lesson. You don't need much to change the entire world for the better. You can start with the most ordinary ingredients.
The article starts by saying, over 20 years have passed since Catherine Ryan Hyde wrote Pay It Forward.
A long time. And yet, the article says, it is still one of the most widely loved young adult books in the US.
And this is because of two inspiring ideas within the story. 这本书之所以会是一本很受欢迎的青少年小说，是因为故事里有两个 inspiring 的想法。Inspire 当动词是激励、鼓舞的意思，那在这边 inspiring 变成形容词就是鼓舞人心，和我们上一次看到的 encouraging 是有点类似的。
Exactly. And exciting as well in our first grammar point. So we actually saw our first vocab word in there as well, within, which is a preposition. And we use within to mean that something happens inside a specific range or in a specific situation. So let's look at our example sentence first. The students were not allowed to speak Chinese within the classroom. Here, we can see that the students aren't allowed to speak their language. But where? Within the classroom. We can understand within here to mean inside of. So in the classroom, the students cannot speak Chinese. And remember here, within is one word. We're not saying with and in. We're saying within. Exactly. So another sentence here. Please give my book back to me within 2 weeks. Here we're not using it to mean in a place. We mean inside a specific time range. So within 2 weeks means before 2 weeks is over. Inside these 2 weeks.
Within 是介系词，在之内。那我们要用这个词的时候，通常是会有一个范围界定，像是例句说到的，学生在教室内是不允许被讲中文的。那除了地理上的范围之外，我们可以用时间来界定，像是 Seb 老师刚刚说的例句，请在2周之内把书还给我。And the article says the first of these is that acts of kindness can completely change someone's life. 那这2个 inspiring ideas 的第一个就是说，这个善举可以完全地改变一个人的生命。
Okay, so completely is an adverb, and when we say that something happens completely, we mean that it happens 100%. Not a little bit, not a big bit, the most it possibly can. For example, if I say the weather was completely clear this weekend, that means that the weather was good all weekend. There wasn't even one cloud in the sky. My calendar this month is completely full. I have no time to meet you. That's another way we can use completely. So here we're saying that, my diary, my calendar has things written in it every single day. So I have no time to meet up with you and hang out.
Completely 是副词，完全地、彻底地 totally。那它的动词和形容词都是 complete， 有完成 finish 的意思。当形容词的时候呢，它也有十分地、完全的意思。例句说，我这个月的行事历完全满了，我没有时间和你见面。
Okay, so early in the book, Trevor buys food for Jerry, the homeless man. Right, this is one way that he completely changes things.
And though Jerry is arrested later on, Trevor's act of kindness has caused a big change in Jerry's personality.
Right.
那Trevor 在书里面的开头是说，他买了食物给一名叫做 Jerry 的游民。虽然 Jerry 后来是被逮捕了，但 Trevor 这样的善举对于 Jerry 的个性带来了很大的改变。
Okay, so it's really changed Jerry's personality. Now, personality is a noun, and our personality is the part of ourselves that includes how we act and behave toward other people, as well as how we think. It's not the bit that we see, it's our experience. So Jerry has not changed physically, his appearance hasn't changed, he has changed in the way that he behaves. He has become more responsible and he has become more caring toward others. His personality has improved. We can also use personality to mean the interesting and unique parts of something. So if something lacks personality, that means that there is nothing really interesting about them. Or I could also say that a movie, a film, or even some food lacks personality if it's not very unique and it's quite boring. So here's an example sentence using personality as we saw it in the story. Tim has a very shy personality, so he prefers to stay home and read books.
Personality 是名词，个性、人格 is the type of person you are. Sometimes we say that this person has a great personality. This can mean that this person is easygoing or a great friend to be around with. 那 lacking personality 呢，就是说这个人没有什么个性，可能就是有点无聊的感觉。那例句说 ，Tim 的个性很害羞，所以他比较喜欢待在家里念书。
So we now see an example in the article of how Jerry's personality is improving. We see this later when he saves a woman from killing herself after he gets out of prison.
那在他出狱之后呢，他救了一个妇人，他使得这个女子免于自杀。Save somebody from something， 意思是使得某一个人不要去做某一件事情，所以就是说他拯救了那个女子的意思。 And the article says the second message is that anyone can achieve greatness, not just the rich and powerful. 那这个故事的第二个中心思想呢，就是任何人都可以完成伟大的杰出的事情，并不是只有有钱人或是有势力的人。
It's just like we saw in the first day. You don't have to be from a heroic background to become a hero. So here's our next vocab word. We saw the word message in this sentence. Now that's a noun, and a message is something we say or write. A letter, for example, could contain a message. The message in the letter is the thing that the letter says. Or, for example, if I'm going out to school and I want to leave a message for my mum, I could write a message on a piece of paper and leave a message for my mum on the kitchen table so she can see it later and there's some information there for her. There's a lot of verbs we can use with message because we send and share messages all the time. We can reply to a message, that's 回复, so if someone writes you a letter or sends you a text message, then you can reply to that message when you say something back to that person. If you share a message that you've just received from someone with a third person, then you pass on the message. Exactly. An example sentence for message is, I didn't read my mum's message, so I didn't know that she would be late meeting me at the train station. There's also another way we can use the word message, and this one is actually how we're using it in the story article. When we're talking about the messages of a book or a play or a movie, we're talking about the main ideas or important ideas that are in it. So, for example, if any of you guys know the song Imagine by John Lennon, that has important messages about peace, because the song is all about imagining a world where there isn't any war and there isn't any racism. So, in the same way, the main message of this book of Pay It Forward is about, helping people and, being generous and not thinking about yourself.
Message 是名词，讯息就是我们平常可能用手机啊、脸书传给别人的讯息。那它也可以直接当作动词来用，就等于 text， 那传送讯息的意思。但是在文章中的意思是说，中心思想就是这本书它想要传达的要旨。
Exactly. We also saw the word achieve. Now that's a verb, and when we achieve something, we succeed in doing it. Trevor's system achieved big changes in the world. He made the world a much better place. Similarly, if you achieve good grades in your English class, then you have successfully got those good grades. Doing this is an achievement. An achievement is the noun form of achieve. So there's actually a very good idiom we can use here when we're talking about achievements and failures. One thing that we like to say is that when someone tries very, very hard to achieve something, but they don't quite get it, they miss the mark. Do you know where miss the mark comes from?
It's like No, I don't.
The target board.
Yeah,
You're thinking of the target board, right?
Yeah, the target board.
Yeah, so if you've ever played darts, that game where you throw those little darts at a big circular board, if you miss the mark in that game, you don't get any points, but you might be really close. So we say when someone tries really hard to do something, but they fail by just a little bit, they miss the mark. Okay, let's look at our example sentence for achieve now. Simone achieved a very good time in the running race. She was the fastest in the school.
Achieve 是动词，意思是经过了努力之后完成、达到。那它的名词 achievement 指的是你的成就或是成绩。那我们刚刚有看到 the rich 或是 the powerful， 它们指的是某一类的族群，那它代表的就是一个复数的名词。那它搭配的动词也会是复数，所以在这边 the rich 其实就是说 the rich people， 那 the powerful 就是 the powerful people。我们常常会看到这样的用法后面加一个国家的形容词，那就是说那个国家的人民。For example, the Taiwanese 指的就是 the Taiwanese people。 And the article points out that Trevor comes from a difficult background.
Yes. Yet, though through his determination, he is able to change large parts of society. So even though he's from this difficult background, he is very hardworking and he's able to change society. So society is a noun, and society is a very big word. It means all the people, the rules, and the culture of a place. Or even we could say society to mean the whole world in general. So Taiwanese society, for example, is everything that is happening in Taiwan culturally and socially. You're all part of Taiwanese society because you are all in Taiwan. Now, different societies can have different characteristics, and two very kind of higher level words that you might hear eventually that we use with society a lot are progressive and conservative. Now, a progressive society is a society with lots of new ideas and lots of very modern ideas about how things should be. And progressive societies change a lot. They change very quickly. Now, a conservative society is very different. It's very traditional, and they like to use a lot of old ideas, and they don't like to change a lot. So often people talk about Taiwan being quite a progressive society because there are lots of new laws and lots of freedoms that you don't have in other parts of the world. Now, we've got an example sentence for society, which is a little bit easier. It's the 4th of July is an important date for American society. So what that is saying is that the 4th of July is very important to all the people in America and to American culture. That's because the 4th of July is the US's Independence Day.
那透过 Trevor 的决心 determination， 它可以改变很大一部分的社会。Determination 是名词决心、毅力。那它的动词 determine 可以是确定，或是 make a strong decision 下决心的意思。Society 是名词社会，广义来说呢，可能是我们现在的社会，全世界。那狭义来说，可以指的就是在台湾而已，就是说台湾的文化或是经济方面等等。
So the book's opening pages include an important lesson. You don't need much to change the entire world for the better. You can start with the most ordinary ingredients.
所以说，我们利用最普通的 ingredient 要素或是材料，就可以让这个世界变得更好。
So again, you don't need to be from a very special place to make really big changes.
Yeah, you can just be like ordinary.
Exactly. If you're hardworking, if you have a lot of vision, you can achieve anything. Okay, well that is all the time we have for discussing the ideas in Pay It Forward. I highly recommend that you read the book, which is a very good read, and it's not too hard either, so definitely pick that up if you can. We're going to look at our For You chat question now, and then it will be time for us to say goodbye. So, let's check it out.
For You chat!
Okay, so our For You chat question today has to do with that very important message that we've seen all the way through our story article, and that's that anyone can change the world. So what we're going to do here is we're going to see how we are similar to Trevor. In what ways, this is our For You chat question, in what ways are you like Trevor? In what ways are you different?
I think I'm like a little bit like Trevor because I have these ambitions. Sometimes I want to like do great things, but not sure that I can do it, but I just have those things like in mind.
Try.
Yeah, I try. So in what ways are you different?
In what ways am I different to Trevor? Wow. Let me see. I think that sometimes I am a little bit slower to go out and help someone that I don't know, or to reach out to someone that I don't know. I try to make myself do it, but it's not, I think in the book, it seems like Trevor is very good at just like
helping strangers.
Yeah, seeing something bad and immediately doing something about it. Whereas I more have to kind of make myself do it. It's not that I don't care, it's just that we're just a little bit different, that's all. So I think that is something that's different, but also maybe something that I can think about with myself. Okay, so what ways are you guys like Trevor and what ways are you different? You guys discuss that now, and we will join you soon to discuss more things, more articles in the coming weeks. So for English for You, I'm Seb.
I'm Nikki.
And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Pay it forward. Over 20 years have passed since Catherine Ryan Hyde wrote Pay It Forward. It is still one of the most widely loved young adult books in the U.S. This is because of two inspiring ideas within the story. The first of these is that acts of kindness can completely change someone's life. Early in the book, Trevor buys food for Jerry, the homeless man. Though Jerry is arrested later on, Trevor's act of kindness has caused a big change in Jerry's personality. We see this later when he saves a woman from killing herself after he gets out of prison. The second message is that anyone can achieve greatness, not just the rich and powerful. Trevor comes from a difficult background. Yet through his determination, he is able to change large parts of society. The book's opening pages include an important lesson. You don't need much to change the entire world for the better. You can start with the most ordinary ingredients.
Vocabulary Review.
Within. Tessa finished her test within the first 30 minutes. I can't believe she was that fast. Completely. Frances completely understood the lesson, so she found her homework easy. Personality. Those two brothers have different personalities. One is very quiet, and the other loves to talk. Message. This book contains important messages about love and family. Achieve. After months of practice, Kristen achieved her goal of getting first place in the race. Society. Society has changed a great deal since the Internet was invented.
智慧小补帖
Inspiring. Determination. Ingredient.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net